One pull of this trigger, you don't want to with me, my cracker. Come on, that's like a heart attack. Cause your fucking shit's psychotic and you're mad whack. You stupid ass transition cracker. So I took that eggnog chocolate milk mead and I strained it into a jar several days before I was going to do it, upon doing some research. Because of all the dairy and the eggnog and the chocolate milk, if that shit spoils while it's in the fridge, then it's going to end up making people really sick, and it probably wouldn't make for the best wine. So, God damn it! I took the strainer and I poured all the liquid out. I'm washing the other jar as we speak. It is what it is. And here's what I got left out of that liquid. Next time I go to make a homemade mead, it's not going to be with anything dairy related. You know, it is what it is, tubes. Just hanging out, just waiting for that money from Etsy to come in. It's tasty. I ain't gonna let it go to waste. Instead of pouring it down the drain, I'm gonna drink it before it spoils. I can taste the honey in there. So it was in there for like, putting it in the fridge can also kill your yeast. So I don't know, man. It's a tasty little drink. It's probably not going to get me drunk, but I'm not letting it go to waste. Killing Sickos is dope. But does it taste like mead? It tastes like chocolate, honey, and... So if you're going to add mead or eggnog to your mead, I would just suggest either drinking them separately or like making like a peppermint mead or some shit like that. Which you could probably do. Some peppermint extract. Some minty chocolates. Some water. Sugar, honey. Some of those 100 proof peppermint schnapps. And let it ferment. Adding alcohol to fermenting alcohol probably make it stronger, no idea. It is what it is, Cobra fam. It does kind of have a little bite to it, but if there is any alcohol in here, it's not going to be that much. In theory, a chocolate mead made with eggnog sounds delicious. But the champagne yeast needs... A fridge might be too cold for that. And you don't want this to be warm because of the dairy in there that can make it spoil before it has a chance to ferment. So that's there's that. It is what it is. I'll just have to, like, you know, drink all of this, fucking run these through the dishwasher, get them nice and clean, and then I'll just wait till I get some more money in before I make my next batch of mead. I got plenty of yeast. The 1118 yeast is good stuff. It works. If you can, I get turbo yeast. 24-hour turbo yeast is the best. You can ferment alcohol at 20% by alcohol by volume in a week. It's legit. I've used it. Excuse me. And if this shit spoils before it ferments, then that would be really bad. That can make me really sick, and that would not be good. So yeah, we're thinking 4 steps ahead of ourselves here. Is there any alcohol in this? Probably not. Am I gonna drink it? Yeah. Yeah, I want to drink it. The idea sounded tasty on paper, but then when I did the research, it was like, no. You do not want to make mead out of dairy products. If you have like maybe, excuse me, if you have like, I don't know, maybe like maybe you make like a root beer mead with root beer soda pop, you know, and then when that's done fermenting, you pour that over some vanilla ice cream, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. I mean, that in theory would be a lot better than just straight up putting dairy in your mead and then trying to ferment it. So it is what it is. Could you make mead with root beer soda pop? Yes, in theory, I think you could. You just straight pour some A&W in there. You know, some sugar, some honey. The process for making the mead is pretty straightforward, like you've seen. 2 cups of sugar, entire container of honey, swish out the water. Fucking, and then once you got the honey in there, and the sugar in there, and the water in there from swishing the honey out, stir that around, dissolve it in some liquid, and then from there it's just like whatever the fuck you want to add to a point. You want to make like a bacon jalapeno mead. So you take some fresh jalapenos, you chop them up, you throw them in there. And then you take some bacon bits that are already cooked, like the ones you put on your salads, and you throw it in there with some water. And then you stir that around with the honey and the sugar, and then you add your yeast, and you let it ferment and do its thing. I have made a bacon flavored wine, and it was delicious. It had a smokiness to it. And making your own homemade wine is fun, but it also is for 21 and up. Excuse me. No idea this is gonna do anything, but I don't care. I need to get this wasn't this. I don't want to waste the liquid in here after making it. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, after watching that, I may have to delete my eggnog mead video because you can't. You know, well, I mean, if you could find a wine making yeast that ferments in very cold temperatures, then theoretically you could make it happen. I mean, eh. But most yeast requires like, you know, basement cold, you know, like not like frigid cold, you know what I'm saying? The temperature required to keep the milk and the eggnog from spoiling is just too cold for the yeast to ferment, I think. So it's yeah, basically wasted an entire fucking day and a half making this. Like, oh, I know, let's make some goddamn fucking mead with eggnog. This will be hilarious. This will be fucking hilarious. It's not gonna work. Joke's on you, So there's a quest for all my fellow winemakers. Trying to find a way to make a mead or a homemade wine using a dairy product like eggnog. A Franken mead for the ages, because if you can successfully pull it off, or you know what I'm saying, if you want alcohol infused eggnog, then I'd just recommend getting some Evan Williams eggnog. It comes out around this time of year. Easy enough. That, or you just take your favorite eggnog and mix it with something, you know. This probably not the smoothest idea I've had. In my defense, though, I was a little bit drunk. So you get some like eggnog, you mix it with some Tennessee honey, some Jack Daniels, some rum chata, some hot cocoa. Okay. And a splash of peppermint schnapps. You mix all that with your fucking eggnog. And you don't need a whole lot of hot cocoa in there, just enough to give it a little bit of chocolatey flavor. So you're not watering down the booze too much. Then you drop a Queen Anne chocolate covered cherry in that bitch. And Bob's your uncle, you have a holiday martini that's sure to win the crowd over, provided no one's lactose intolerant. Which is about the only kind of intolerant you can be anymore, am I right? Like, fuck. I mean, for good reasons. I mean, tolerance versus intolerance, that is the question. Because sometimes intolerance is not a bad thing. If you say, I hate sickos, which is, you know, I fucking hate sickos, you know what I'm saying? That's different. Dude, please leave me alone. I can't control these fucking assholes. People are now using AI technology to YouTube troll me, and it's just like, I don't care. My fucking trolls are so fucking, they need help. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's sadder than losing my puff would be my trolls' lives. And I do hope Puff comes back. Right now, he's going to be burrowed underground, staying warm, because that's what bearded dragons do. If I don't get Puff back, I'm going to be incredibly sad, of course. Like, I'm doing everything I can in my power to stay calm and, you know, excuse me. Got the window open in case he shows up. People do their fucking research on bearded dragons. They burrow underground when it gets cold. So he may not come out from underground until like spring. It sucks, but what do you do? A day that's like 90 degrees in December? Fuck off.